Hello, everybody. It's time for another tasting on our Kickback series, which is happening all week. We had a wine on Tuesday, Wednesday, because it was Indigenous Peoples Day on Monday. And so today is Thursday, Tasting Thursday, even though that officially kicks off next week with Karen McNeil from The Wine Bible. So if you're catching the replay, go ahead and head to the link in my bio so you can get 20% off The Wine Bible right now in preparation for the grand interview, the kickoff of the series interview, which happens next week at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TikTok, on Instagram Live. However, on Tasting Thursdays, we always have millennial points. We're rating different wine products and sometimes wine on millennial points on YouTube. And then right here, 6 o'clock every Thursday for Tasting Thursday, we host our live tasting. So right now, we are actually here. This is what will be happening next week where we're tasting a wine. Right now, we're featuring all the wines from my wine club. So you definitely want to show your support. Head over, click the link in my bio if you want to buy some of these wines that we're featuring all week. But on top of that, we have Patreon with our live tastings that we're setting up. Right now on Patreon, when you sign up for our the Sippers tier, you automatically are able to download a tasting sheet, download some wine vocabulary, and then you can also download our tech sheet, which is just flavor and aroma profile, which we're going to be using today as we taste our Rioja. Okay, so before we begin, I got to do a quality check, ask you guys, how are you doing? Where are you tuning in from? And do you have some wine? If you have some wine in the house, go ahead, grab a glass so you can sit in and join me, because it is not ladylike to drink alone. Amen. So go ahead, do that. And while I'm waiting for you guys, bestie, how you doing, baby? I'm going to go ahead and sing my jingle. Even though it's technically not Tasting Thursday until next week, we're going to sing the jingle, okay? Tasting Thursday, get it, Tasting Thursday, with your girl, the millennial psalm. I am she is me, and we are here for another Tasting Thursday. Woo, 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 woo. Let's go. Okay, so where are y'all tuning in from? What are we doing? How are we feeling? How's our Thursday? Are we ready for the weekend? What's goings on? Y'all talk to me. As I'm waiting for you guys to tell me, this is the wine that we are featuring today. I've already went ahead and turned the mirror around so that you guys can clearly see. So you can take a screenshot so you can find this wine on your own. Or you can just, again, click the link in my bio, and I recommend sign up for our wine club. You get 6 bottles of wine, or 3, depending on which one you want to pick. But we have 6 bottles of wine shipped to your door every week. Right now, this month is Skin Contact Month, so we're dealing with orange wines, rosés, red wine. Tomorrow, we're going to get back to the orange wine, so I'm super excited. If you don't know what orange wine is, make sure you tune in tomorrow at 6 o'clock so that you can taste along with us, okay? But that's what we're drinking, a little bit of Rioja. Y'all not in the building, where you at? Talk to me. How y'all feeling? What's going on? Okay? I like when you guys interact with me. This is a safe place, okay? So if you have any questions, always ask. Don't be afraid. If you are wrong, I will just simply tell you the right answer. Also, if I say something wrong, hold me accountable. Make sure that, this is an equal trade. We are trying to learn together and develop a family and a community together, which is why head over to Patreon so you can get all the deets, okay? So let's go ahead and get into our tasting. If you are ready for this wine tasting, let me see some wine emojis down below. All right. So this is our wine, and whenever we're tasting wine, I always say, start with the bottle. The bottle gives you so much information if you just know what to see, right? So the very first thing you want to take a look at the producer. See if this is a producer that you are familiar with, okay? So this is Baigorri. Hopefully I'm not saying it too American, but Baigorri is the production name. Come on, wine emojis. I see y'all in there. Thank you so much for the roses. Okay. And then after we look at that, we can actually look. Let's go down here. So Rioja. How many people in the room have ever heard of a Rioja? Hands up. Tell me all that. Who? Okay. So someone says sweet wine. Are you saying that a Rioja is sweet wine? Talk to me. And I already got me a little glass. So. Is Rioja, are you saying Rioja is a sweet wine? And if you know it's not, or if you do believe that it is, go ahead and write that in the comments as well. But give me a little bit of information that you know about a Rioja. If you know nothing about it, Let me see a 1 in the chat just so I know what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people who are just like, I'm not sure. Never heard. This is my first time I've heard of it. Just asking if it is. Okay. Well, it is not. It is not a sweeter wine. However, it is a red wine. And the cool thing about this bottle here is that it actually says the variety that's used here, Tempranillo. How many people have heard of Tempranillo? Let me know in the comments if you are familiar with this variety. This is a variety that's the main principal black or red grape in Spain. Okay, so Rioja is in Spain. The principal grape is Tempranillo. So we're dealing with a wine that is very popular, that is well known. Even if you don't know, now when you go into a store, because trust me, you will, Rioja is sold everywhere. I don't care which store you in, whatever community you live in, whatever liquor store or wine shop that you are able to go to, you will find a Rioja when you go to the store again, okay? But the thing to remember is that it is a Tempranillo, okay? Tempranillo, black grape, thick skins. It thrives in hot climates. Therefore, you're going to get a lot of ripe flavors. Acidity is typically a little lower in this. That's why you have to have that nice diurnal range where you have hot days, cooler nights, allowing that acidity to rise so that you have a nice balanced wine. However, you are going to get a little bit more of that ripe red fruit, black fruit when it comes to this wine. Okay. Thank you so much for the shares. All right. So another thing, keep looking at this wine. Okay. So what is that 2018? What does that mean? Write in the comments, 1, if you don't know. Write in the comments what you think it might mean, even if you have absolutely no idea, but you're just rocking with it because it's a number and it says 2018, so I think it might be this. Write it in the comments so that I know what's going on. What do y'all think that 2018 means? Talk to me. Someone said harvest day. Come on, tie-dye. And you are absolutely right. 2018 represents, and anytime you see a vintage or that number, right, it represents the day that they went out and picked, or the year that when they went out and picked the grapes from the vine. Okay, so you can have a wine that was picked in 2018, but it wasn't bottled until 2019, or it wasn't released until 2017, or not 17, if you picked in 18, that's not possible. But further down the line, maybe 2021, right? So that symbolizes the year. The reason why we care about vintage is because each year is slightly different. Maybe it's raining a little bit more. Maybe this year's a little bit cooler. Maybe this year's a little hotter. Maybe there's, in California, you have a whole lot of fires. Maybe a lot of vintages were struck with smoke tank because of all the smoke. Every year has very specific details that makes that wine unique, because climate, terroir, and the things that happen around the vines directly affect the flavor profile and the experience of a wine. So you could have the same grapes grown in the same vineyard from the same vines, but every year there's going to be some variation of difference because of the climate alone. Okay? So if you are understanding what I'm saying, let me see some heart emojis, some wine emojis. If you are confused, tell me. All right, write it out so I know for sure if I've lost you. But there's so much information. So right now we're dealing with the wine that was made in 2018. We are in Rioja, Spain. The variety that we're dealing with is the black grape from which is Tempranillo. But what is this? Crianza. Do y'all know what that means? Give me some guesses. Y'all know I love the guesses. If you're wrong, I'll tell you. If you right, I will hype you up and celebrate you, just like we did with the harvest. So what does that mean? Crianza. Someone said region. We got 242 Junkie said age. Okay. Tie-dye said, I don't know. I just don't know. Varietal. So we said varietal is going to be the Tempranillo down here. But this is very, very important. So again, remember I was telling you earlier, when you look at a bottle of wine, you have no idea how much information you are getting just by the label by itself. All right. So Crianza is what is the right word? The word just went away from me. Okay. When you see Crianza, you know something about the wine. I want to give a quick shout out to 242 Junkie. It represents the aging process. There are different categories, we'll say, of different wines within Spain that have these categories of how long the wine was aged and how long about that age has to be in oak barrels, okay? So when we see Crianza, we know that this wine at minimum is supposed to be aged for at least 24 months. Am I correct? Okay, just making sure I said that right. 24 months. Of the 24 months, 6 of those months have to be in oak barrels. So right now, what we know about this wine, not only are we dealing with a standard Tempranillo, which I love to use my resources. One resource that I highly recommend you guys, Wine Folly. Absolutely love this book because it gives you a nice outline, easy to read, easy to understand, examples of different varieties within the book. It's also very pretty to look at. So you get a lot of information. Some of the typical flavors that you will get from a Tempranillo: cherry, dried fig. Dried fig means that there's been some type of deliberate oxidation, right? Which can happen in oak aging or bottle aging, or just allowing the tank to be open, allow oxygen in, right? So we have that. Cedar, again, another aroma that comes from oak. Tobacco, aging / oak, and then dill, which is another aroma that can either be from the grape itself of its underripe characteristics. It can also be oak, or it can be some type of deliberate aging. It's very interesting. Some flavors kind of transcend typical, and so you have to think about the categories and really taste it and get a full experience to kind of figure out which category it's in, right? So in this wine, we have a lot that we are anticipating just from it being a Tempranillo. We are expecting it to have all of those flavors, but because it's been aged, right? Because it's been aged for at least 24 months. And the thing is, I looked up the wine and it said 14 months. I'm not sure how they got away with that because it's supposed to be 24. Don't ask me, ask the producer. I'm not sure. Okay, can I be transparent with you guys? Is it okay? Let me know if it's okay for me to be honest that I'm not sure because it's supposed to be 24 months. Okay. But with any wine that's going to be aged in oak, there are specific flavors that we can get that come from the oak. Whether it be from new oak, that's going to be very, very intense. Old oak, which has been, or used oak, right? A lot of the flavor is gone, but you're still getting a lot of that oxidation, which is going to allow that fruit to be kind of ripe fruit and things like of that nature, right? But with this wine, we know that it had to have been aged at least 6 months in oak barrels. So there's going to be some characteristics to expect. Throw some answers out to me. And if you don't know, again, I recommend you guys sign up to my Patreon. The sippers, $5. That's it, baby. $5. You get a tasting mat, but you also get this dope aroma and flavor sheet that I created that lists out different flavors and what makes the wine taste that way, right? We're dealing with oak. We're dealing with secondary characteristics. And so when we have in this wine, on the text sheet, it said it was made with American oak and Russian oak, which we can go ahead and just say is European. What are some flavors / aromas that come from American and European oak? Throw some answers out, whatever you think, right? One that we usually always say, vanilla. Vanilla is like a typical aroma that we get really across the board, no matter if it's American, French, or European, right? What are other aromas? Come on, talk to me. Y'all know I don't like when I'm talking to myself. Come on. Y'all make me feel like I shouldn't have been. Coffee. That's actually great for American oak. Absolutely, coffee. What's another aroma? Throw some out. Throw some out to me. And if you want to, it has a bag layer. But this is the tasting sheet. This is what it looks like. When you sign up and you're able to download, this is what you're going to get. So bread is actually going to be more of a lees aging, dead yeast, bread, pastry, yeast, all of that. That's going to be lees. So I'm not sure if this has been in contact with the lees. I wouldn't be sure. I wouldn't be surprised if it actually had some lees contact and aging, but that is not the right answer when we're talking about oak. Blackberry is going to be a primary characteristic. Primary being it comes directly from the grape. I'm trying to show you guys, but there it is. So the other side of the sheet, you actually have the primary characteristics. These are the aromas and flavors that come directly from the grape / vineyard. So, if you get a little eucalyptus because in the air is a eucalyptus farm and it gets on the grapes, that's primary, or just the natural flavors that come from the grape itself, primary. But Anything that has been influenced outside of the grape, which is winemaker choices like oak aging, that is going to be a secondary characteristic. Same thing for cherry. Any fruit flavors, floral, I can actually rock down with it. So floral, citrus flavor, red fruit, any fruit. Vegetal characteristics like green bell pepper, herb, grass, all of that. Earth, mineral, and some non-fruit like black pepper, petrol, I guess, licorice, things like that. That is going to come from the grape. Those are primary characteristics. But things like tobacco, good answer. Coffee, great answer. Another thing, coconut, vanilla, dill, roasted coffee, toast, American oak. And then when we're dealing with European oak, vanilla, butterscotch, which can also be something else, but we're going past that. Sweet spice and herbal characteristics, okay? Let me go on and print it out. And then we will also have laminated, that's going to be available soon on my website. I'm trying to get these things printed. I've been not having an easy time at that. Believe it or not, it shouldn't be that difficult. But that's going to be able to be purchased, the large mats and all of that soon. But for now, Patreon, sign up so that you can download all of this information and be able to participate in our live tastings that we're going to have on Patreon, right? Cool. So moving on past that, because we know that this has been aged for 14 months in American and in European oak, not only are we going to expect those dark fruits and all of that typically comes from a Tempranillo, but we're also going to taste for, like I said before, coconut, vanilla, dill, roasted coffee, toast, vanilla, butterscotch, sweet spice, and some herbal characteristics, okay? So if you're ready to actually finally get into tasting this wine, because this is just looking at the label and trying to figure out what we're going to taste. After that, we get to go through the whole experience of actually tasting the wine so we can assess which right, which wrong, and all of that jazz. Okay? So if you're ready, and thank you so much for the follow. If you guys are ready, let me see some wine emojis in the chat right now. And again, while I'm waiting for you guys to do that, the Wine Bible, I'm going to be interviewing Karen McNeil, the author of this book, next week. She has given me 20% off for you guys. So click the link in my bio if you're interested in this book. It is a key book for the wine industry. It's called the Wine Bible. We treat it like it really is a wine Bible, okay? You can get 20% off the new edition of this book. And then also talk to Karen next week, next Thursday for Tasting Thursday. Come on, chocolate. Chocolate also is a aroma that you can get in from oak. Absolutely. I love seeing the emojis. Y'all better talk to me. Okay, let's go. So the first step of tasting, let me go ahead and put my steps in the chat. Give me 1 second, please, so I can do that for you guys. I'm so sorry that TikTok doesn't allow me to pin and it stay. So bear with me as I try to make things stay for a little bit. But these are, pin the comment, these are the 4 steps of tasting. Sight, smell, sip, savor. I actually have some emotes that I'm going to be uploading on here so you guys can click them as we taste along too. But the first step of tasting is sight. We look at the wine to assess, just like we did with the bottle, what are we getting ready to get into? In looking at the wine, you can kind of guess what the acidity is. You can guess the variety based off of the color. You can also guess the body and the alcohol and sugar content just by looking at the wine. Isn't that crazy? Did y'all know that? Let me know if you knew that. If you didn't know it, tell me. If you did know it, tell me. It's a conversation. Talk to me. Okay? So this is the wine that we're getting into. For anyone who just tuned in, this is our wine. You can take a quick little screenshot. Okay? And then this, didn't know. Come on. We learning something new every day. Come on. All right. So this is our wine. Now, when we're looking at wine, I have to remember to tell people that they cannot join my lives. It gets on my nerves. I knew because I learned it from you. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my lives and learning something, baby. All right. So you guys tell me, do you look at your wines like this when assessing? I know we see like pictures online or in movies when there's a psalm and they're like, yeah, so the wine. Do you look at your wine like this? Is this right or wrong? Huh? Y'all talk to me. Is it right or is it wrong? I'm double fisting with water. Isn't it look down? Isn't it? Someone said the more tears, the better. We're going to talk about that, baby. The glass, though. Thank you. Wrong. Someone said right. Someone else said wrong. The answer is wrong. You do not look at your wine like that. There's no way to truly assess the color. I mean, you can kind of get the color, but you want to look down so you get a nice view of the color, but also the depth. When you look at it like this, the wine looks like it's just deep. At the same way it looks for you guys. You can't see through it. There's no way to know if it's pale, if it's medium, or if it's deep. And then even when you assess the color, I mean, it's still harder to see what color it is, right? So what you're going to do, also glad you're back. I'm happy to be back. Okay. Probably wrong telling by the squint, right? Because I was like, So how you look at your wine, you want to look down. Have a white piece of paper around you and also natural light. Try not to have any colors around that can actually impact it. Like the other day I had on a green sweatshirt. Not a good idea when you're trying to assess wine. Even though it doesn't matter. You do the best you can no matter what. But try to help it if you can. Okay? So what you're going to do, you're going to look down for the color in red wine. You're going to look at the rim. And for the depth, you're going to look at the pit. So on the rim, I can tell you right now, it's more of a red hue than it is giving purple or blue. So I'm going to say ruby. And right down the middle, sometimes I like to have like a piece of paper with writing on it. So if I can read the writing, I know that it's pale. If I can read it, but it's still a little difficult, medium. If I can't read it at all through the pit, we can go ahead and just say that it's deep, right? So this wine is actually, it's a deep ruby. It's a deep ruby. It's on the edge. I don't know what I did with my pen. Oh no. All right. Well, I guess I'm not writing down any notes. It is, hello, I'm new. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. This is the wine that we are tasting. Take a screenshot or you can click the link in my website so that you can sign up for Wine Club and you get all of these wines that we're featuring this week. And then also Patreon, sign up for Patreon so you can get a tasting sheet, tasting mat, and wine vocabulary. Boom. All right, so let's go ahead and get back into it. So in this wine, we are saying that it is a deep ruby color. I don't know if you guys, you can kind of see, you see how it's more red around the rim. It's a little difficult to see in the, glass, but can you guys see it on camera? Let me know in the comment. I'm gonna keep going. Y'all tell me. But then someone said something about, wait, let me scroll up so I can make sure I recite it right. It says the more tears, the better. So I want to address that. It's been a long time since I've made it to your live. Hi. So no, you guys, that is not absolute. That's not correct. When we see the tears, which this one absolutely has, what it's telling us is that this wine is either high in sugar or high in alcohol, right? That's it. The quality of the wine depends on the style. If you are making a wine that's supposed to be light, fruity, easy to drink, however, you have some type of oak aging to it, and now it has none of those primary characteristics. It's out of balance because it didn't have enough tannin to round out anyway with the oak contact. Now you have a wine that supposedly maybe has sugar or has high alcohol or whatever else you want to say. It's still not good. It has to make sense with the style that you're making. So you're not always going to want your wine to have those thick tears going down the glass if you're looking for a light, refreshing, easy wine to drink. Does that make sense? Yes, tears equals legs. Okay, so think about it. Make sure that you are paying attention to the style, and everything else should come together. Now, in this wine, which is not like the wine that we had yesterday, we had a Sancerre yesterday, right? Pinot Noir Rosé. With that one, didn't have any legs. It was easy to drink, nice fruit forward, just great acidity, just a sexy, sexy, beautiful, elegant wine. This one, you actually are getting a little bit of the tears. But the thing is, with this one, which you guys can kind of see the tears. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do to make it a little easier to see. But with these tears, what I'm noticing is they're a little thin and they're coming down kind of slowly, but they're not super thick. So looking at this wine right now, just looking at the tears, the legs itself, what I'm seeing is this wine is probably going to be a dry wine because it's not really thick. You know, a lot of high sugar wines typically have like very thick legs as they drip down the glass. It's very thin, so I'm assuming it's probably going to be a little dry. But because it has these legs, it's probably going to be in the range, how it's kind of going down. I'm going to say medium to high range. Okay? So medium to high is probably going to be between 12.5 to about 14. I don't think it's going to be more than 14 just looking at it. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm getting. Y'all see them? So that's what we are assessing when we just look at the glass itself, look at the wine itself. But there's so much more to get into. So let's scroll up. If you want me to repost it, just let me know. But what is the second step of tasting? Let me know in the comments. If you need me to repost it, I absolutely can. I have no problem doing that for you guys. But what is the second step of tasting? Let me know in the comments. What's the second step? Numero dos. What are we doing? After we look at the wine and we assess it, we said that this wine is a deep ruby color. Yes, come on. Sniff, aroma, smell. Yes, that is what the next step is. But we did say that this wine is deep, has a deep ruby color. Based off of the legs, we're assuming that this wine probably is a dry wine, which it is. I already tasted it. Dry wine with probably medium to high alcohol. That's what we're guessing. All right. Your favorite is Merlot. It is Merlot month. Next week, we're going to be tasting some Merlots. So Merlot me, shout out to them. Hashtag Merlot me, but it is Merlot month. So make sure you guys drink some Merlots for this month as well. Okay. All right. So boom. Next step is smell. What you're going to do, you're not going to be cute. You're going to really put your nose in that glass and deeply inhale. Okay. Y'all ready? Oh, yeah. Y'all have your wines? Get your wines. Come on, let's go. After you smell, then give it a nice little swirl. Don't swirl first because sometimes you might have some delicate primary characteristics. Primary, again, meaning flavors and aromas that come directly from the grape or the vine, right? Or vineyard, I should say. Deeply inhale after you swirl again. All right. So on the nose, I told you I don't have my pen. I don't know what I did with it that fast. But on the nose, oh, found it. I'm getting smoke, sweet tobacco, and also kind of like a sweet spice. It definitely has a more sweeter aroma to it. So I'm going to say sweet tobacco and sweet spices. Spices like clove or something like that. Clove. I don't really know if I'm going to say cinnamon, but definitely in that family, right? The fruit is definitely there. It's beautiful fruit. It's giving plum, black fruit like blackberry, I should say. Blackberry. It smells really good. Ooh, what was that? Okay, so when you have moments like that, like I just had, right, where you're like, what is that? What am I smelling? This is the time where you go to your aroma and flavor sheet. Again, download on Patreon at the Millennial Psalm. Sign up to be a part of the community. We're going to be learning French as a community. We're going to have our book hub is going to start back up again, and we also have our own private tastings and Q&As on Patreon. I just started Patreon. Not a lot on there, but the 3 documents that you can download for free are on there. So make sure that you guys do that, because for everyone else, they'll have to go to my website and actually purchase a physical copy. So make sure you guys go over and do that, okay? But sometimes when I'm having a hard time figuring out the aromas, I will look at my text sheet of different primary characteristics, tertiary or secondary characteristics, and I'll go through them to kind of test myself and see, what am I getting? Sometimes I'll try to challenge and say, okay, what family am I in, right? So I don't know. I feel like it's a bacon spice. Man, what is that? All right, let's see. So it could be, maybe, yeah, I can write prune. I am definitely getting some prune in there. What else am I getting on here? Oh my gosh, I'm just trying to see. Maybe, is it roasted coffee? Maybe I can rock with that. What do y'all think? I'm drinking Woodbridge. Drink it, girl. Enjoy yourself. I've seen nose and mouth in glass. Okay. I'm going to do it because I don't know what that is. Okay, y'all ready? How do you even get... I don't like it. What if your breath stink? Then you're going to be smelling your breath. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's a good idea. Not trying to say my breath stinks. I'm just saying. Because I did it. I got a little like, I don't think so. Stone fruit. I'm late to the party. What are we drinking? This is what we drinking. This is my Wine Club wine. If you're interested in Wine Club, you can sign up. Click the link in my bio. Again, 20% off wine, the Wine Bible, which Karen McNeil, who wrote this book, I will be interviewing next week for Tasting Thursday on Instagram at 7 o'clock. But you can meet me here next Thursday at 6 o'clock for our live tasting, and then head over with me at 7 o'clock to Instagram. Okay? But yeah, maybe I don't think that's a good idea, because with your breast thing, So I'm going to rock with smoke, sweet tobacco, sweet spice, plum, blackberry, prune. And then, I'm going to go ahead and say coffee, because that might be what I'm smelling. I'm not sure. It smells really good. Like, it's more like cooked, roasted black fruit to me. That's what I'm getting, which definitely makes sense. Hi. Okay. And thank you guys so much for the follows, but let's go ahead. Those are the aromas that we're going to rock with. What is the third step of tasting? Let me know in the comment below. For everyone who's just coming in, I will copy and paste these steps so that you know what they are. But for everyone else, you should know it by memory by now, baby. You should know it by memory. Sip. That is my favorite part of tasting. It is the second most important part of tasting. I think that sometimes we get so caught up in smelling and looking and sounding fancy that we forget that it's time to actually experience wine. You have to taste it for yourself. You can't just look at it and know everything, because sometimes, let me tell you, there have been times when I've looked at a wine and assessed it, and on the palate, it was completely different. There are times where I've had wine on the nose, it will smell fruity and like bubble gum, which that's a sign of carbonic maceration, by the way. But it'll have all these ripe, beautiful, crazy flavors, and you taste the wine and it's bland and it has no personality, or vice versa. It has all the personality, but it wasn't as intense on the nose. So it's important that you recognize that tasting a wine is the most important, because that's the only way to actually know what the experience of the wine is. If you understand what I'm saying, let me see some wine emojis, okay? If I didn't lose you. So we've looked at the wine, deep ruby color. We're thinking that this wine's probably going to have low sugar, medium to high alcohol. On the nose, we're getting coffee, smoke, toast, you can say that too, sweet tobacco, sweet spices, plum, blackberry, prune, and this also has nice kind of cooked fruit to it, kind of on the back end, almost like you let it sit for a little bit. You didn't let it totally become a cobbler, but it was getting ready to. That's kind of what I was getting from this wine. So a little bit of aging, which we know did happen for 14 months, right, in American and European oak. All right, so let's go ahead and get to this tasting. Let's go. Yeah, baby. By the way, I got a nice little pairing that I want to recommend for you guys too, so stay tuned to that. But this wine is really nice. Very, very easy to drink. If you are more of a sweet wine drinker, this wine would be for the person who's already been dabbling in dry wines and are kind of figuring out, okay, I like this, I like that, I like the third. This would be a good wine for you for a transition of, I've been drinking a little bit of dry wines, but I'm still trying to work on it, because the fruit is so forward and it's great, but it still has nice tannin. I think the alcohol is definitely what I said, because I'm getting a little bit of heat in the throat. So if you don't really want to taste that spice from the alcohol, I'm not sure if this will be the wine for you. Again, we're dealing for Tempranillo in Spain, higher temperatures, which means we're going to deal with higher sugar levels. Sugar directly affects alcohol. So if it's high sugar, then it's probably going to have high alcohol, or at least be in the upper ranges, probably between that 12.5 to 14 range of alcohol. It was all, and this wine is nice. This is a delicious wine. It really is. But Rioja is very sexy. Yeah, I said it. Rioja's pretty sexy. All right, so let's go ahead and give you the sip breakdown, because there's so many points that go into this. Okay, hold up. I'm taking my WSCT2. Welcome to the family, girl, this winter. And I'm looking forward to learning more about wine. Make sure to join Patreon, baby, because we're going to be diving into wine, reading books together, learning languages together. You know, there was a psalm we read in book club a few months ago, whatever, I don't know how long. But you know, one thing that he said, you need to learn another language if you're going to be in wine. It's imperative. And if you're going to be in wine, not to enjoy and drink it, just for the people who are casual drinkers and are here just to learn. But if you're planning to really be in this field, it is recommended. So if you want to join the community because we're going to start learning some languages together. Okay. But the sip breakdown, you want to list out some flavors, which we've already done. Assess the sweetness level. All right. So to me, just enjoying and drinking. Love it. Come on, pharmaceuticals. Okay. So sweetness level, we typically have dry, off dry, sweet, and luscious. Okay. Dry means 0 to no detectable sugar in the wine, right? A lot of people confuse that for bitterness. That has nothing to do with the price of peat in China. You could have a 0 residual sugar wine that is very fruit forward because it was very ripe, grew in a very warm climate. Think Portuguese wines. Again, I keep telling people, if you are looking for like, oh my gosh, I like sweet wines, but I want to grow and learn to appreciate and enjoy dry wines, Portuguese wines, because it's such a warm climate. It has these beautiful high, fruit forward wines, but also the acidity is very refreshing. So it's easy to drink, you could guzzle it down, but it is a dry wine. So I definitely think that will be the next stage for any person who's trying to kind of transition or learn more about dry wines as opposed to their preference of sweet wines. Okay. But with this wine, definitely going to say sugar content is definitely dry. This is a dry wine, but the fruit forward in this wine is great. Can you talk about the air to pull in a couple times? Absolutely. So whether you are using a decanter, keeping your wine in the cork as, not being open and allowing oxygen in slowly, swirling, or taking a sip and sucking air in. What you're doing is oxidizing the wine to develop those flavors. So sometimes you can taste the wine, it'll be very difficult to taste, or maybe the tannins are too high, or the acidity is way too aggressive. Oxygen has a wonderful way of developing, rounding out, and balancing wine. So why we swish the wine around and also suck in air so that we are allowing oxygen contact to the wine so it can bloom in our mouth and we can taste the different flavors more accurately and better. Okay, let me know, 242 Junkie, if I lost you, if that didn't make sense, or anyone else who just tuned in and they're like, oh, really? Let me know if I lost you or if that makes complete sense. But all of those methods are doing the exact same thing, oxidizing the wine to develop the flavors and allow the wine experience to be better. Okay, or in the taste, in the sense of tasting, so you can better assess the wine. All right. So where are we? We've done sweetness. Now we're going to assess acidity. For me, the reason why we taste all the time together is because you have to be able, the most important step of being a great wine enthusiast, of being a awesome wine professional, is to do this number one thing. You have to drink wine. That's it. I mean, I'm sorry. I know that you guys probably were expecting some huge step, but guess what? There is no big step. The first step of truly being a great taster is to literally drink wine, because every time you drink wine, your body responds to it. And there's no way to fully understand that until you drink it. Okay? So with me, and it really happened for me doing these tastings every week. I'm trying to tell you guys. But when it comes to acidity, I feel acidity here and down. Now, I will get like a nice rush of saliva, that wetness that you get in your mouth of saliva. That is acidity. If you want to know what it feels like, grab a lemon, bite on it, and hold on tight until you can't take it no more. That's acidity. But I feel prickles here. With alcohol, I'll feel prickling up here. Also heat going down and in my chest. Okay? Sometimes you can hold the wine in your mouth and just breathe. Be careful so you don't choke yourself. But you can feel that heat going down when you breathe. That will be alcohol. All right. Now, this is my body. I'm telling you how it works for me. You have to do it yourself, and you have to do it often so you'll understand the difference of how your body is responding to different wines. Now, when it comes to tannin, tannin is a chemical compound found in the skins, stems, and seeds of a grape. It is that dry sensation that you feel in your mouth that feels like a suction cup sucking all of the moisture out of your mouth, which is why when you have a balanced wine with beautiful acidity and ripe tannins, sometimes you'll have this moment where the tannin will suck everything dry and then the acidity will moisturize it. But you know what I'm saying? It will, make your mouth water again. And it's a beautiful experience because the wine is more than just how it tastes. It's how it feels. It's how your body responds to it. All of it goes into the full experience of analyzing and understanding wine. Dang, I sound like a geek, but I love wine. So here we are. That's just where we are. Okay. So that's how I assess my tannin. That's the dryness. I usually feel it under my lip. I'll leave the wine there for a couple just so I can assess it a little easily. It'll be on my tongue or other patches around my mouth where it'll feel very dry. Okay, so that we're just going to start there. Let's go ahead and assess the sweetness level. Well, we did that. We said it was dry. Let's assess the acidity and tannin. Let me know if you're ready to assess all those two things. Let me see some wine emojis. Grab your wine if you have some and just practice along with me. You don't have to have the same wine to assess. We do the exact same steps every single wine. Okay, let's do it. Okay, come on, tannin. So my upper lip, definitely dry. I'm going to say that the tannin is probably going to be about medium, maybe even medium plus tannin. It's not super aggressive. It's actually pretty round. I'm going to look here. Again, looking at my reference. Wait, where are we? Right here. Okay, boom. Because the thing is, but this gives you a nice overview of what the typical experience of Tempranillo is going to be. So most Tempranillos are going to be that medium plus tannin, medium plus acidity, medium plus alcohol. Body is also going to be medium plus. Alcohol does not have a plus. It's either high, medium, or low. So we're going to say high alcohol. Sweetness is usually very low. Now, when it comes to the tannin, I said medium plus. However, there still was kind of like this glaze of saliva. It's not as high because sometimes I'll put it here. And if I get that uncomfortable feeling like I'm sucking on a lemon, that's when I'm like, okay, this is a high acidic wine. But for me, I think that this is also kind of to that medium to medium plus because I'm still feeling some sensation right here after. So it might be a little bit higher than I'm giving it credit for. So I'm going to go ahead and put medium plus acidity because I was going to say medium, but I still feel it. So which goes into the finish. If you can still taste the wine or feel the wine, that is also going to be about the finish of the wine, okay? When we talk about finish, that's what we're talking about. How the flavors or the experience lingers after you've long, took the sip, swallowed, and done, okay? So acidity, we said medium plus. Tannin, we said medium plus. We also said this wine was dry. After that, we have two more. We're going to assess the alcohol and the body. Now, I said it earlier. You guys talk to me now because I've been talking a lot. When we're assessing body, what are the two components that directly affect the body? We've already talked about this. We cover this every tasting. When we get over to Patreon, it'll be more centered on, we'll be growing as a community, so we'll be able to grow and move. But TikTok, we get a lot of new people, so bear with me. If you are a wine professional, you know everything already. We just covering it for everybody else. Make sure people are involved and know what we're talking about, okay? But for body, what are the two components that directly affect it? When we were talking about the legs and the tears, right? Come on, tie-dye. Sweetness and alcohol. Sugar and alcohol. These are the correct answers, okay? So we've already said that the wine is dry. So we know that body is not really going to affect the sugar is not going to affect the body of this, right? So we're really leaning on the alcohol to figure out, okay, is it high or is it full bodied or not? You can also do this vice versa. Sometimes you can feel that alcohol and you'll know. Other times it's not as easy to detect the alcohol, but that body is so full and vivacious. So you're like, okay, so let's go ahead and really feel the weight of this wine, the viscosity. I'll never say that word right. I know. It's embarrassing, but I'm just honest. Y'all like when I'm honest, so I'm just being honest. All right, so let's go ahead and assess the body. Let's go. All right. Is that the Wine Folly book? Yes, I've referenced both. Honestly, I just got this new book, the Wine Bible. I have the other version. I have the second edition there. This is the new edition of the Wine Bible. You can download it. Click the link in my bio, get 20% off. I'm actually going to be interviewing Karen McNeil, but I'm probably going to be referencing her book a little bit more often because it's just so much information in here. I just want to get a good look and really make sure I'm saying everything right. But I do love Wine Folly, just how plainly everything is written out. It's very easy to read. Love Wine Folly. Also a great wine reference to use, okay? OMG, I caught you. Haven't called me in a while. Hi, Miss B. I'm happy to see you too, baby. Okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and say, I've been doing really good since being back. Like yesterday and the day before yesterday, I've been very spot on with my alcohol, assessing from the body. So let's see, because I feel like they about to trick me. I feel like this bottle of wine about to get me. It's still, to me, remember when I was telling you, I was looking at the legs and I was like, I'm thinking that this is going to be between 12.5. And really it's giving, the body in this is giving like 13.5 to 14, maybe even 14 plus after assessing the body. But that means that we're in that very awkward spot of medium or high. Because in alcohol, there is no medium plus, medium minus, because we have very specific ranges, right? So low alcohol is anything under 11. So that's 10.9 and below. High alcohol is 14 and above. So the medium range is 11 to 13.9. So if this wine is 13.5 all the way to 13.9, it's technically still medium, even though it's on the higher range. And then again, if it's 14, it's right. So based off of the experience, I really feel like we're in that sweet spot of 13.5 and 14.5. I'm going to trust my gut. I'm going to say, I feel like I'm about to be wrong. I'm going to say that this is medium. I think that this is between 13.5 and 13.9. Y'all didn't taste this, but write what y'all think the answer is. I'm going to say 13.5 to 13.9. Y'all tell me what y'all think it is before I look at it. Y'all, come on, just humor me. Let's do it together. I swear, if this thing is like something crazy, I'm gonna be mad. Because it also doesn't have like intense heat going down. And then the body, it's there. It's luscious. It's silky. But I've had full-bodied red wines. And it just feels like it's a little thinner than, a full-bodied wine. Y'all not gonna give me any guesses. Yeah, y'all hate me sometimes. I swear to beans. Can y'all love me? All right, so we got a 14. Thank you. Anyone else want to jump in? All right, 242 Junkie. We gonna rock with you. All right, y'all better put in. Okay. We got a 13.5. We got a heart. You just got here. This is the wine we're tasting, babe. Sign up to Patreon so you can get the matte, the flavor and aroma sheet, and then also our wine vocabulary, and then we also have 20% off Karen McNeil's newest edition of the Wine Bible, great wine resource that we will be using for our live tastings here and on Patreon. All right, so we got 13.4, 13.5, 13.17, 13.5, and 14. Y'all, let's see if I'm right, because I don't know. I was wrong. Well, technically I was right. Because I did say 13.5 to 14.5. Y'all heard me. I said it. Run the tape back. Because it's 14.5. Ah! I knew it, man. I was right in my range. I was wrong in my final answer. But yeah, so it is 14.5. So when this happens, when you're wrong, when you are close but no cigar, take that wine and really experience it. Yes, Spanish wines are usually high. With Tempranillo, it can be high, but it also can be in that higher medium range of that, like I said, 13.5 all the way to like 13.9. But this one is about, it's 14.5. Hi, I miss y'all too. Sign up for Patreon. We're going to be over there. We have my wine map, tasting sheet, wine vocabulary, all of that. Head over there so we can have our wine tastings over there, where it'll be a little more specific. Wine community book club. We're learning French together. All of that, okay? We do have some catching up to do. Wait, is that you, Kevin? Ciao. Anyway, so when you have moments, these are always learning moments. So don't be mad at yourself. Don't be like, oh my God, I don't know anything about wine. No. Now that we know this is 14.5, that means that this wine is technically full-bodied. Okay? So let's go ahead and reassess it, refill it, and get to know what that 14.5 alcohol feels like. Okay? Let's do it. That's what it feel like. That's what it look like. Okay? Do that. As you continue to taste, your body will take control. You'll be able to taste and your body will tell you, boom, that's medium. Boom, that's full body. That feel like this. You have to continue to taste and be in the moment. Allow your body to fully represent the moment that's happening with this wine. Okay? All right. So overall, we said that this is this Rioja Tempranillo, which is actually 90% Tempranillo and then 10% other black varieties. Okay, this wine was aged for 14 months in American and European oak, harvested in 2018. Okay, on the, what did we say? So we said that we were getting smoke, coffee, sweet tobacco, sweet spices, plum, baking spices, and plum. We also said that, what else did we say about this wine? Y'all remember? Oh, it's dry, medium plus tannin, medium plus acidity. We know that it's high alcohol and then also full bodied. Now, the reason why I want you guys to connect the dots, if you decide to take this seriously and start going to classes and now you're at your level 2 or your level 3 and you have 2 blind tastes in your level 3, you have to make it all make sense. If you say that this wine is high in alcohol, you need to say that it's full bodied, or else you're going to get that answer wrong. If you say that this is medium alcohol and you say it's full bodied, you're going to get it wrong. So I'm letting you know now, alcohol should reflect on the body. Really, the body should reflect the alcohol or the sugar levels. You can have a low sugar, low alcohol wine with high sugar and it be full body because it's the sugar, the crystals in the sugar, right? So think about all of that as you are assessing. Okay. Yes, class been in session. It's Thursday. Okay. All right. So one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, you guys are always telling me that I need to do more like wine pairings. So I actually partner with Tillamook. All right, we're going to start that over because, y'all, I never say it right. I have to, like, literally do that in my mind. Like, okay, so book. It's not book. It must be muck. So it's Tillamook. All right, let's try this again. I don't know why I struggle, but I do. So let's start over. So I actually have a great relationship with Tillamook, okay? And this is their white cheddar, sharp white cheddar. I really like eating these because they're so cute. They're like small snack sizes, okay? So these are FDA approved, no hormones, like we are living it up, and I highly recommend it. I do love eating sharp, which is aged cheddar with red wines. However, sometimes you need a little kick. So I recommend having this cheese with a Rioja or any other like red wine. But when you're dealing with Riojas that have been aged, and this goes with anything, right? This is pretty good. When it goes with any pairing, if your wine is smoky because it's been aged in oak, right? Your wine also has some great cooked fruit flavors in there, right? Get you some jam, right? Which is nothing but cooked fruit, reserves, whatever you want. I love me some fig jelly or whatever. Get that. Get you some like smoked, prosciutto or something. Because you want to have those flavors. Now, this wine has great tannin. So tannin, fat, saltiness, kind of that when you have aged wines, it has that crystal in it. So it all goes together. And then when I tell you, it just tastes so delicious. So I love to eat these as little snacks. However, you can go beyond just having little snacks. Make it a whole grown-up Lunchable. Get you this cheese. Grab you some prosciutto or whatever your desired meat is. If you're not interested in meat, don't do it. It's okay. And then also just grab you some jam and enjoy. Okay? Okay. I don't know. I'm just got on Patreon. This is new. The tasting is pretty much over, and I like to, at the end of the tasting, that open for just dialogue and conversation, right? But I will tell you guys, because I actually haven't told you why I'm moving on to Patreon. So I'll still be on TikTok. I'm still on Instagram. And I'm also still on YouTube. So follow me on all. But the problem I was having with these social media platforms is truly like being able to give you guys true access to knowledge. On Patreon, I'm able to create downloadable content that you can use to study on your own, that you can use while we're at our tastings. Right now, everything is like, yeah, I got to make it and then put it on a website and you have to buy it, or I have to give it to you for free, or I have to, it's just like, it's a whole lot of work with very little reward in social media because, you know, it's beyond y'all just being happy with these tastings. I'm on the other side. Like, I just want to give you guys more, and it's very difficult. So I realized being on Patreon, we're able to have our book club. We're now going to have a French community where we're coming and learning French together. Again, we're going to have our live tastings that are primarily going to be on Patreon, even though we'll still have our Monday tastings here on TikTok. And we're always going to have Tasting Thursday, which at 3 o'clock, we have our Millennial Points. I rate different wine products and sometimes wine on Millennial Points on YouTube. Then at 6 o'clock, we have our live tasting here. 7 o'clock, we head over to Instagram and we interview a live guest. We are booked all the way through the end of the year with the exception of holiday breaks for all of our Tasting Thursdays. So Millennial Som is back. But Patreon is definitely where you want to be so you can get exclusive content, listen to my podcast that I'm getting ready to start releasing. There's just so much more that you can enjoy on Patreon than all of these other apps, because if you want to learn about wine and truly develop your wine palate and be a part of a community, Patreon is where you need to be. I want to join the French study group. I'm moving to wine country. Come on. So what I'm doing right now, and I try to be as transparent with you guys as possible. Come on, podcast. I am trying to get in contact with Duolingo. I want to see if I'm able to get some type of partnership with them so you guys can have a discount on the year-long app. You know, just like, you know, we have discount on this. 20% off the Wine Bible. Click the link in my bio. I want to continue to be able to make sure that resources are affordable and accessible for you guys as we come together as a community. But the podcast, some people have been already telling me, you love this book. This is the new edition. Do you have the new edition? If you don't, click the link in my bio for the discount, 20% off. It's so much better because look how colorful it is. And you know she updated all the information because wine is ever changing. Wine don't never stay constant. I actually have the other book here. And you guys can see, when this book came out, we thought it was so cute. We thought it was great. Look how gray and dull it is. Didn't even look at it like that. Now that we have this book full of color, we're like, let's learn more about the Loire. Like, it's great. We about to get all the way in to our like wine geek phase. Was all black and white. Right, exactly. Black and white with like little pops of, what do y'all want to call this? Fuchsia? What's this color? Is this fuchsia? Is this fuchsia? Y'all talk to me. I don't know. But yeah, so Patreon is definitely where you want to be because we taste our wine club wines. Like, it's just going to be the ultimate community. Speaking of wine club, next month we're doing all wines for the holiday foods. And then in December, they're gift wines. So if you're interested in getting some wines that would be great for gifts, December is where you want to be. And then November, again, holiday foods. All right, especially for Thanksgiving. Me and my wine club manager, we worked together and picked out our wines that we want to feature. And it's all about making sure it's food. You accept gifts. I need your address. I think I want to do what's the thing called? Christmas cards this year. I've never done Christmas cards. I think I want to do it. Okay. Okay, thank you, baby. But do y'all have any questions for me? I know I haven't been here in a while. A couple updates. Your girl has officially, I wrote my first article and it was published. Hold up, let me see if I can find it. It was published in Millie. Where is it? Let me see if I can hurry up and find my here it is. This is an article written by the Isis Daniel, the Millennial Soul. Whoop, whoop, talk to me. Okay. Traveling is not over yet. Thank you, baby. I'm so pressed. Traveling's not quite over. I'm going to be heading to LA. I'm heading to LA. So, we definitely need to talk because I'm about to be in your neck of the woods again. So, but I will be, in LA, at the end of the month. So, text me. Do you have my number? Because if you don't have my number, that's ridiculous at this point in our life. Don't say November. No, I will be there at the end of this month. I'll be there at the end of this month. Okay, I gotta give you my number. That's ridiculous. I didn't make any sense. I know, right? So I'll be there. So I'm still traveling. It's still kind of crazy. But Mexico. Hi. Thank you for tuning in from Mexico. Love it. But yeah, I heard they have some great wines in Mexico. I just got wind of that. Is that real? Is that true? Or people just making stuff up because you can make wine pretty much everywhere? I'm in Philly now. Where is the sun? Ciao. I was just, okay. Don't get me canceled. Because I love all my cities. But doesn't like Philly and New Jersey, it just feels darker. Right? Like the sun is gone behind the clouds and it's just gray. Is it just me? It's true. And also food is amazing. Okay, so I need to go to Mexico. Let's go. We going to Mexico. Got to drink some wine. Let's go. Ooh, really? It's delicious. Okay, we going to Mexico. We're going to have some amazing... I know the food is amazing. You ain't got to tell me Mexican food ain't amazing. I know that. But the wine scene, I've never had a Mexican wine. So I'm really interested. What varieties? Like, what are they making in Mexico? Do y'all know? Do you know? Because I don't know. Okay, why am I over here? Y'all see? I'm trying to tell you. Get you some of these little bites. Because I'm tearing these things up. Over here talking to y'all. What y'all doing in Mexico? All right, y'all. Y'all have any other questions for me? Wine questions before we skedaddle? We've been here an hour. I try not to keep people for more than an hour because we got things. Lord, look at you. Look at me. Look at me. You should come. Be my tour guide. DM me on Instagram. Because if you think I'm not, I'll go up there. It's cold. We got cold winters in the DMV. DC, Maryland, and Virginia. Not cars. Okay? But it's cold out here. I disappear and go to Mexico for a second, drink some wine, mind my business. You feel me? You have something to tell me. What you got to tell me? You better not be getting married. And if you are, I better be at that wedding. I don't care. Okay, I'm jealous. Been dropping in every day from the Bahamas. You ain't tell me it was in Bahamas. Nah, see, I'm trying to go to the Bahamas too. Now, Bahamas, I actually talked to, was she in Barbados or Bahamas? I think she might have been in Barbados. I talked to a Sam who was in Barbados, not Bahamas. But come on, Bob. Come on. Bahama for your mama. I want to go. Weather's kind of crazy here right now, but definitely hotter. I'm thinking more like New Year. What's it look like in the new year? December 26th, 7, January 3rd, like that range. What's it looking like over there? It's very exciting. I'm about to call you on Instagram because you don't have my number. And I don't have yours. Come on, Thailand. So I went to Thailand a few years ago. I want to go back so badly. Thailand is just, the food is amazing. The people, everything is just like top tier. Top tier. Love Thailand. Now I did get robbed and I almost got arrested when I went to Thailand. But both things, I didn't do anything wrong. It's just what happened. I didn't get arrested. That's how you know it wasn't on me. But it almost happened. I was scared shit. I can't wait. I can't wait for you. See, this is how you know Thailand was bomb. Not only did I get robbed and almost got arrested, but I would still go back. That's how you know. Believe that. Okay, tell me. I was looking. I was like, believe that. Believe that. Believe that. Believe that. I had that whole moment. All right, y'all. Someone said something else. It's awesome. And if you get around January, you'll be able to see people shopping. All right. I'm coming to Mexico for the new year. Okay, send me a side note. I said New Mexico. I'm going to Mexico for the new year. I'm going to have to call my best friend and we just have to figure it out. Because I was going to go to Colorado with my best friend. That's where she lives. And she was like, well, last year we were snowed in. I don't know if you want to come. As soon as she said snowed in, I lost interest immediately. Beyond seeing her, I was like, I don't know if it's for me. I don't know if it's for me. Okay, I'm going to Mexico. All right, you guys. If there's no other wine questions, I will wait a couple more seconds for wine questions. But if there's not, thank y'all for tuning in. Tomorrow, we're going to be having a little bit of a pet net. Naturally made sparkling wine, orange wine, skin contact. This is what we're dealing with. Okay? Trying to see what it says. It's called Maria Duck by Duckman. So I'm excited. You can kind of see the sediment at the bottom. Oh, look at that sediment. Yeah, it's sexy. Oh, yeah, like that. So that's what's going to be happening. See you on Patreon. Sign up. Sign up for the tasting sheet. Sign up for the flavors and aroma profiles. And then also the vocabulary sheet. These are the basics. That is for the $5. Okay? So go ahead and sign up there so we can get our community going, because I really want to get some people there so that we can officially have our book club, officially have our French club, officially have all of the things that I'm trying to do on there. But we have to get on there so that it can happen, right? Podcast coming soon. I don't think it's not gonna come out next week, but the following week podcast will officially begin. But Tasting Thursday starts officially next week. Tasting Thursday. If you know the jingle, you better learn the jingle. Go watch some old Tasting Thursday videos. You can go to YouTube and just look up Tasting Thursday so you know what the daggone Somunity, the millennial Somunity. I think I like it. I don't know. But yeah, go ahead. How can we get it? You can click the link in my bio. Everything you ever need is right there. But on my link tree, it says Patreon, and you can click there and sign up easily. Some people have already, started signing up. So it's beginning. I switched. At first, you can only get the matte, but you couldn't get the vocabulary sheet and the flavors and aromas. I went ahead and moved that over to the basic, the sippers. I have my sippers tier and my tasters. My tasters are taking it very seriously. Sippers are just trying to figure out what's up with wine. So head on over there, figure out which one is best for you, but you can now access all three documents and download for you right now on my website, on Patreon, okay? All right, you know what I'm saying? Taste the Hunty. Come on, be a taster. Exclusive. You get a lot more exclusive content and all of that with the tasters. But the tasters really won't kick in until we get enough people in there, right? So tell your family, tell your friends, tell anyone who's interested in wine to go ahead and join us so this community can really start kicking off, because that's what I want. And also sign up for Wine Club so you can get these wines that I'm going to be featuring. Hello? Like, why? Sign up for Wine Club. Y'all asked me to give you Wine Club. I gave it to you. Sign up. Okay? All right. But that's it. I love you guys. And I will see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock, where we're going to be featuring an orange wine, pet net, natural fermentation. And we'll talk about all of that and what that means tomorrow. So I'll see you there. Don't be square. I love you guys. Eat cheese. Till 'em up. Mook. Till 'em up. Bye, you guys. Love you.